Welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Pastor Rick Utze from Maranatha in Plain City, Ohio. This past week, there was a guy named Forrest Fenn who was in the news because he had hidden a treasure in the Rocky Mountains 10 years ago. Like a decade ago, he hid this treasure and he gave clues to the treasure. Like he wrote a little autobiography, and in that autobiography was a poem that gave clues to where this treasure was. And this treasure was worth over $1 million. Like it's valued at somewhere, he estimates between $1 and $2 million. It's got antiques, gold, silver, different things in it. And people have been looking for this thing for 10 years. Like not only have people been looking for this, like they have been giving up weeks, days. Some of them sold most of what they had to go out and look for this treasure because they thought they could find it. As a matter of fact, depending on which stories you read, anywhere from 2 to 5 people have died looking for this treasure. Well, this past week, he came out and said, somebody found it. Like somebody found the treasure. He doesn't want to be named, but they haven't given, this person sent him a picture, right, to prove that he found the valuables that were buried there. And so, I thought, man, people have gone through a lot of expense to find the treasure and gave up a lot, sacrificed a lot because of what they could gain in that treasure. And it reminds me of the parable Jesus told in Matthew 13, verse 44. It says, "The kingdom of heaven is like treasure buried in a field that a man found and reburied. Then in his joy, he goes and sells everything he has and buys that field." And then in verse 45, it says, "Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls. And when he found one priceless pearl, he went out and sold everything he had and he bought it." And so this is just talking about what is the kingdom of heaven like? And Jesus is saying, man, it's like a treasure. It's like a priceless pearl. It's like when you find it, right, you will want to sell everything you have because the value of that treasure is so great if you can just find that treasure. And, I wonder, where is our treasure? Because the Bible tells us that where our treasure is, there will our heart be also. Like these people who were trying to find that treasure, their heart was in it. They were going after it. That was their desire. And when the news came out that somebody found it, how do you think it made the people feel who gave up so much and didn't find the treasure? Like, I think they were a little disappointed, disheartened. They were like, some of them were probably angry. Like, oh, they did all this, and they were probably so close. Some are wondering, how close were they to that treasure? And as I thought about the treasure, what about the treasure we seek? What about the treasure that Jesus is talking about? What about the treasure that comes in Jesus Christ only? Like, he is the way, the truth, and the life. He really is the treasure that we go after. And Jesus says, if you seek it, you'll find it. And in Romans 5, Paul says, this hope will not disappoint us. It's talking about the hope that's in Jesus Christ, the hope that we have in the glory of God. It says, this hope will not disappoint us, even in our affliction that it talked about in the previous verse, because God's love has been poured out in our hearts through the Holy Spirit who was given to us. The Holy Spirit was given. God himself was given. Jesus gave his own life. The Holy Father in heaven gave Jesus Christ his only Son so that we could have salvation, so that we too could have treasure. And are we seeking God in his kingdom first? Are we seeking that in his righteousness? Because that hope will never disappoint. So here's the bottom line. Fenn's treasure that he hid, right, was found by one person and then it was gone. No one else can have that treasure. It's gone. Everyone else is disappointed. But Jesus, the treasure that's found in him is inexhaustible and is open to anyone and everyone who seeks after it, and they will find it. Like, where is your treasure today? Because Jesus says, if you seek, you will find. And we can have the true treasure that will last forever. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Bottom Line.